I tell you, there's nothing I love more than a good old what-if scenario. What if Ash won the Indigo League on his first try? What if I had blonde hair? What if starters had different types? I'm going to react to another Pragmagic video. I did ask if it was okay. They said go for it, and I'm very excited about this one because I love a little what-if scenario. I love a little change in the types because there's some really cool ideas that you can come up with. And chat, what if I didn't call you chat by accident? What if you subscribe to both of our channels? What about that? That's a good what-if scenario. That's probably the best one, actually.
What if Game Freak had used a different type trio for the Kanto starter Pokemon? Let's find out.
Okay, let's freaking do it, baby. Here we go. I'm ready.
Hey everyone, Brandon here. So since the
Brandon.
beginning of the franchise, the starter Pokemon have always been grass, fire, and water type. They form a great type.
Unless you go, let's go. let's not do that. I actually like those games, but that doesn't make sense for the video.
Triangle and are relatively balanced, but other type triangles exist. While they aren't as balanced, they could be used as type trios for the starter Pokemon.
Since when have we ever cared about balance? Ever since Game Freak met Mazosian, all thoughts and care of balance, it's gone out the window.
So to experiment with this idea, I'm going to use the Kanto starters as a base. If you like this idea and want to see more, make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Okay, all right, I'm doing it. I haven't left a comment yet.
I decided to use in this case is ground, ice, and steel.
Oh, that's an interesting typing. Okay, so usually the trio is what steel, fairy, fighting. That's what people usually use when it comes to type advantage trios. But oh yeah, you know what? This could be cool. Ground's an interesting one. I feel like ground is like the redheaded stepchild of a lot of the types because there's rock right there, and they're basically the same thing. So you look at the both of them, and they're like, oh well, that's just one type. That's just one type, right?
Yes, I realize steel didn't exist in the first generation of Pokemon, but this is all hypothetical and just for fun anyway. So let's just say this is an alternate universe.
Wait a minute, you're doing this for fun? I thought this was a scientifical, statistical analysis. There's no fun allowed in these videos. Hey, how's it going? I'm the comment section. I'm going to point out that one small error you made. Hope you enjoy. Every single comment will be about that one small error.
Where all the types are on the table. Also, all of the art in today's video was made by the incredible Trevin Art, so make sure to go check them out.
All of it?
Us off
all right.
Is Bulbasaur, which I decided to give the ice type. Grass and ice are kind of opposites in a way, so I thought it would be interesting. So here is Verglasaur.
Oh,
Since this is an alternate universe where the types...
Oh, it's like Bergmite. It's like a much cuter version of Bergmite. I feel like I could throw this at someone pretending it's a snowball, but then it's actually one of those ice balls. Have you ever done that before where you're like, oh, it's a snowball, but it's packed in so tightly that it's rock solid and you can really do some damage with those? I feel like I could do some damage to one of my mates with these.
We're different. I figured the names should match the typing as well.
Are we going to see the full evolution line as well? Because if we do, that's going to be sick.
Instead of a bulb, Verglasaur has a big old iceberg on its back. Hence its name. The iceberg extends below to coat its arms and body as well, which references how icebergs have more to them below the surface of the water.
I think usually there's a lot more below them as well. This is one iceberg image that's used for every like iceberg video. It's this one. It's this massive one right here. This iceberg is every single iceberg picture I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. It's huge though. Jeez, crikey, look at the size of this. That's where the Avatar was chilling.
This icy coating is also a reference to the wood frog found across North America. These are the only frogs found in the Arctic Circle, due to their unique ability to freeze themselves over in the winter.
What? Wait, that's sick. They can just put themselves into a little hibernation, a frozen hibernation. They can, that's so cool. See, this is the kind of stuff that we need. That's like an actual superpower. I try and think of the superpowers that humans really have, apart from being like a bit smart, I suppose. I think that talking is a superpower. Just being able to project noise and have it be understood, that kind of seems like a superpower. If we couldn't talk and we just discovered, or just we saw this happen, it would be like a superpower because we can make phrases and language. Oh my God, literature. Am I becoming a book nerd? Literature is a superpower. God, I'm such a nerd. Jeez, what's wrong with me?
Producing a special form of antifreeze that prevents their cells from freezing. The space between the cells does become frozen though, so the wood frog gets this icy coating.
Oh my God, I guess they can't really control when they unfreeze though. God, that's gotta suck. You're just like stuck in the suspended animation for a long time. And the worst part, the Arctic Circle, a lot of it's in Russia. So not only are you frozen, you have to be in Russia too.
Weather gets warmer, they thaw and are able to continue feeding and mating just like normal. Verglasaur inhabit the snowy peaks of Mount Silver. They are always trying to keep the iceberg on their back as tall as possible. It is said that the iceberg contains the very life force of this Pokemon.
Wait, they're trying to keep their bug as okay. They're trying to keep their bug as tall as possible. Okay, we know what that's insinuating, right? At least, hey, I'm just getting a certain kind of vibe from this. Don't know if that's intentional.
And if it were to melt, their life would melt away as well.
Oh,
all of this winter talk reminds me of Christmas and the incredible Christmas deal with today's sponsor, Atlas VPN. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and you can get Atlas VPN Premium for 85% off, which is only $1.70 a month for 3 years with an added 6 months extra. And you get a 30-day money-back guarantee. Atlas VPN is a virtual private network that makes all of your network traffic travel through a protected and encrypted tunnel, keeping your information safe from things such as hackers and even your own internet service provider. It also lets you set your virtual location to anywhere in the world.
No way, I can go to Romania.
Allowing you to access regional
I don't want to go to Romania.
Services like Netflix, such as Friends, Rick and Morty, or anime like Steins Gate and Spirited Away.
Finally, I can watch Steins Gate and Spirited Away. I've been waiting for so long.
Once again, if you sign up for Atlas VPN using my link right now, you can get it for the low cost of $1.70 a month.
It's a special Christmas deal. Don't miss it.
3 years plus 6 months extra with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks so much to Atlas VPN for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. At level 16, Bulbasaur evolves into Icysaur. See what I did there? As you can no doubt tell, Icysaur's iceberg is smaller than Bulbasaur, and now
oh no, it's smaller. What's happened?
More of an ice shelf. Its arms are no longer coated with ice, exposing more of the diamond pattern on its skin.
That's really cute, actually. He looks so pissed. Why is he so mad?
It still keeps these icy claws it can use to attack. I would give it a new move called Frost Claw to back this concept.
I would be this mad if I was frozen all the time as well, though, to be fair.
It would be an ice-type version of moves like Dragon Claw or Metal Claw, but with a chance to freeze. Icysaur are much more aggressive than Bulbasaur and have a keen survival instinct.
Yeah, I mean, they look pissed. Actually, you know what? That makes sense. It kind of reminds me of a polar bear a little bit, too.
They are highly protective of the ice on their back and will use their claws to deliver chilling cuts to anyone that comes near them. These cuts will remain frozen. The sun or fire will not melt them. The only remedy is to seek medical attention, such as an ice heal or Pokemon Center. At level 32, Icysaur evolves into...
Here we go.
Damn,
this thing looks crazy. It's giving me like, what if Avalugg was a demon vibe?
Ice ghost type.
Oh, it's dead. Oh, because the ice caps are melting. It's dying. Oh, I kind of like, there's a climate change reference here. Okay.
The ice on its back has melted, draining the life force of this Pokemon and thus turning it into a ghost type.
Wait, so the natural evolution of this poor little Bulbasaur is to die? Well, I guess the natural evolution of everything is to die eventually, right?
The ice now coats its body in the shape of a snowflake to visually mimic Venusaur's leaves. If you haven't picked up on it already, this entire line is a reference to the melting polar ice caps. They are also a reference to wilderness survival. People like Mountain Men,
because you die.
Bear Grylls, and Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant all serve as inspiration here, which you can partly
Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant. Okay, so this thing's gonna get attacked by a bear then.
See in Verglasaur's little beard. Revenant is also a synonym for ghost, so that works out too. It now has horns as a sort of visual pun of a bullfrog, but also refers
a bullfrog. I thought it was just a demon.
To another group of frigid-bearded survivalists, Vikings. Verglasaur's name comes from verglass, which is the thin coating of ice caused by frozen over rain.
Oh, wow, that's really sick, actually. That's really cool. It's a thin coating because most of it is melted away, causing it to die. Now it's see-through.
It's like the thin coating the wood frog has and Verglasaur has due to its melted ice. I wanted this whole line to conceptually oppose the Bulbasaur line. Where Bulbasaur's bulb grows into this beautiful plant by the final stage, Bulbasaur's iceberg melts.
It just dies
into this sad remnant of what it once was.
Oh, that's
Verglasaur
so
is said
sad.
to haunt the frozen hills of the Kanto and Johto regions, seeking revenge on humans as it believes they are the reason its ice and life force are gone.
I mean, yeah. No, they're not wrong. This is true. But also, how are you supposed to catch and train one of these guys? If it's just hunting us, it's okay. We can use the power of friendship to make them not dead.
One strike from its frozen claws will curse you, making you feel like you're always cold, no matter how warm your surroundings may be.
Wait, oh my god, did I already get hit by one of these? Because listen, my circulation is awful. I always feel like I'm chilly.
Next, I decided to give Squirtle the ground type, so meet Desertal.
Okay, Desertal. Okay, sure. I like the idea, because it does feel like an opposite. Grass is opposite to ice, ground is opposite to water, and then you have steel, which is opposite to fire. I guess not quite opposite to fire, but like kind of. Because they're all super effective on each other too. Oh, that's cool. Not only does it keep a traditional starter trio, but everything that is being turned into something else is either like super effective against it or backwards. Do you know what I mean? It's water, ground, ice, grass, fire, steel. You know what I'm saying, right?
There are plenty of desert inhabiting turtles I could have based this on, but I ultimately decided to base it on the Indian star tortoise, which
Wow, look at this guy.
lives in dry areas like semi-desert grasslands and sand dunes, but can live in humid areas as well.
Oh, they're so
It is
cool.
also based around cowboys. You can see the brown portion on the front of its shell emulates a bandana, and its little mud-caked hands look like gloves. The reason I picked the Indian star tortoise rather than other turtles is because of the star part of its name. Stars are the symbols for old-timey sheriff's badges, and the spurs
Okay, this actually reminds me of the Squirtle Squad. This is like the Western version of the Squirtle Squad
of a
too.
cowboy boot look like the stars on the tortoise's back. Also, one little detail I wanted to point out is that the direction of the spiral on its tail is flipped from Squirtle. Desertal will bury themselves in sand and can shoot that sand
This is to show that Desertal can do a flip.
out in high-speed bursts at prey passing by to stun them. Its hard, durable shell can withstand harsh sandstorms. If the storms get too bad, it can withdraw into its shell, letting itself be buried.
He seems pretty chill too. He seems like a pretty chill guy. Seems like he's just hanging out, having a good
At
time.
level 16, Desertal evolves into
Desertal.
Waste Turtle.
Oh, Wasteoral. Wait, is it going to become a poison type? Ground poison?
Elements of the Indian star tortoise and the cowboy inspiration start to become more factored in with this design.
Those eyebrows are going crazy though.
Folds on the front of its shell form a star, and though less noticeable, it has a star on its back. The ears, which is apparently what those wing-like things on War Turtle's head are, become more like
What?
extended eyebrows that, when combined with the shape of
Oh, those are ears? Oh no, I guess that makes sense. It is in the ear
its
slot.
head, form a cowboy hat. It keeps the bandana-like marking on its shell, and its tail is shaped like a whip, mixed with a little bit of fringe. Waist
Oh yeah, no, I see the whip actually.
Turtle are always trying to prove their toughness. They will challenge Pokemon with a type advantage just to prove this. If the battle isn't going their way, they will whip sand stored in their tail into the eyes of their opponent in an attempt to blind them and to get a cheap shot in. At
Wait, so they use pocket sand? Oh my god, it actually uses pocket
level
sand.
36, Waste Turtle evolves into Dustoise.
Whoa, okay, this guy is sick. I could definitely see this guy being like the boss of a Dragon Quest game. He's big, he's burly. No, he looks like the boss of a Zelda game. This is exactly the kind of thing you find in the Gerudo Desert. I've played 2 Zelda games, I'm sorry. I love the stylization on the shell as well. It looks like it's painted. It looks really cool.
Ground Dark type. This cowboy has gone rogue, turning into a
Oh no, we become outlaws, brother. You tell me that the sheriff round here is outlaw. Is that right?
full-on outlaw. The black and yellow coloration of the Indian star tortoise pairs wonderfully with the dark cowboy aesthetic I wanted for this design. Giving it a dark shell, face, and eyes with that pop of yellow really gives off that evil feeling.
I really love the design because he's literally looking into the camera and he's got his fingers held like that as if he's about to shoot you, which is really cool. You can tell that he's a murderer. He does terrible crimes. But you know what? If we can't do a little bit of crime every now and then, what is life? Really? He's tried doing it the clean way. This is a person that's tried living by the law, but the law burned him, I guess, maybe. I don't know. He's a ground type. I don't think he got burned.
Kind of like the DC villain Sinestro. Speaking of its dark face, you can see that its face, jaw, and head come together to look like a bandit hiding his face using a cowboy hat and bandana. Its
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, it looks like it's the bandana around the mouth, too. That's so
middle
sick.
toes are longer and slightly curved, so they look like cowboy boots. You can definitely feel the intimidation factor.
Oh, it does. Yeah, no, this is really cool. Oh, man, this is really sick. And he's going to shoot you with his cannon because he has... It's way better than a revolver. A cannon's so much more useful than a revolver.
With Dustoise looking in your direction while pointing its finger and cannon at you, as if it's saying you're next. Dustoise shoots out large, precise, bullet-like clumps of sand from its cannons. One blast can break through solid steel. It rarely needs to use
so you're
its
dead.
cannons, though, as most Pokemon run from fear based on its sheer presence alone. Of course, that leaves Charmander
Jesus
with the
Christ.
steel type. So
A steel Charmander is an interesting
here is
concept.
Chromander.
Oh, he's got a little ball on it. It looks so hard to walk around. You know, I like the Chrome idea though. I've loved Chrome ever since that one SpongeBob episode where he goes to the future and the little iron ball on the back there shows you this thing's gonna have a low speed, very low speed. But the fact that he has red eyes that contrasts against the Chrome of the rest of his body, the black and white, is really sick.
Chromander definitely feels the most different from the original in terms of design, with a more circular head, serious expression, confident pose, and a more slender body. Instead of a flame, it has a big ball of iron on its tail, which mimics an old ball and chain. Don't let it
Oh no, he's a prisoner. He's the real
Let
criminal.
her appearance fool you, though. Charmander is tough. It can lift the heavy ball on its tail slightly off the ground and swing it around at opponents. Its tail
Oh yeah, that would break their... That would snap a shin,
is
definitely.
extremely sturdy and can crush solid rock.
I wonder how heavy this thing
At
is.
level 16, Charmander evolves into Chromeleon.
He's like, oh, thank God, finally, my tail is stronger. I can lift this thing. Jeez. You wouldn't believe getting upstairs was a nightmare as a Charmander. You have no idea. Do you know how hard it is to get upstairs with his tail? Jeez. Now I can lift it. I feel a lot better now.
Here is where its secondary inspiration starts to present itself. This line is also based on weightlifting. Chromeleon is curling the iron ball with its tail like the exercise of curling weights. Its shoulders are becoming more distinct and muscular, but they also look like curled up sleeves.
And if you look close enough, you can see the vascularity from the performance-enhancing drugs that it's been using in order to look good enough because of its body dysmorphia.
It's typically what people do with their clothing if they're about to lift something seriously heavy. The segmentation of its arms make it look like it's wearing weightlifting gloves. It also has this little mustache, which I will explain the reasoning behind it once it evolves.
This guy could totally outlift me. There's no way. I wouldn't even get close. This guy could outlift me easily.
Chromeleon can use their tail like a mace to knock out opponents.
I do like weightlifting a lot. I go to the gym pretty much every single day, apart from when the metro is late, like today. I'm not waiting 25 minutes for the train. Are you kidding me?
Though they're less interested in battling and more so want to focus on making their body and tail stronger. At level 36, Chromeleon evolves into
here comes
Chromazard.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Now that is a way. Oh, okay. I know what has happened here. The entire idea of this and the reason why it's black and white is because it is based off of 1950s weightlifters with their massive, the mustaches and their little leotards on. And the reason that they're black and white is not just because it's a steel type, but because the pictures that they would take back in the day are also black and white, so it's reflecting how they would look. That is really cool. That's a really sick idea. And look how strong he is now. Oh, and you can also tell that the ball on the tail, we don't really use balls as much for weightlifting like they used to. Like these balls on the end of the barbells, you don't really see those around as much. But look, you can even tell, just you could like compare them to each other. That's that guy. I mean, he doesn't have the mustache, but it's very, very close. And those balls, you don't really see those in gyms as much anymore. Maybe in like specific Olympic weightlifting gyms, but they're not very common usually. This is cool though. I like this.
Steel fighting type. This lizard is juiced. Its body is thicker and more rounded to reflect how many weightlifters and powerlifters are typically less muscly than bodybuilders. I mean, some of the strongest men in the world are thick powerlifters like Mark Henry, Hafthor Bjornsson, and Zydrunas Savickas, just to name a few.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna be the strongest person in the world, you're not gonna be cut. You're not gonna look muscular. You're not gonna look vascular. You're gonna look big. You're gonna be huge. Everything about you, just lots going on. You're gonna want muscle, but you also want body fat too.
Chromazard's mustache and leotard-like body pattern refer to old-timey circus strongmen. But
oh, there they are! Oh, I love that. That's actually really cool.
More specifically, one particular strongman, Louis Uni, also known as Apollon the Mighty, who was by far the strongest man alive back in the late 1800s and early 1900s.
Really? How much could he lift?
Chromazard's tail has transformed from Chromander and Chromeleon's single iron bar into a big old dumbbell for it to lift. Its chest, while being a leotard, also looks like a big ball of
okay, this is bringing a whole new idea and dimension to calisthenics.
iron. The symbols on its chest are meant to emulate the numbers on old barbells, where these numbers are instead 3 question marks, meaning it is so heavy it is impossible to tell its exact weight. This line's concept kind of acts as an opposite to the Charizard line. Where the Charizard line's tail is a source of weakness, the Chromazard line's tail acts as a source of strength.
Oh yeah, there's no way. That balls through anything.
Chromazard's body is harder than diamond. The only thing that
my body's harder than diamond, see? I've got a big old strong tail, see? I'm gonna go down to the beach and I'm gonna woo a lady. I'm gonna do a little courting, see?
can pierce it is intense heat. It is constantly lifting heavy things to show off how strong it is.
We need to bring back the transatlantic accent. This Charizard, I can imagine him talking a little bit like this, and he goes down. He says, I'm going to go to the restaurant. Going to go to the Italian restaurant right now. I'd love to hear more people with the transatlantic accent.
Like many starter trios, these 3 final stages have a group theme, which is things associated with being manly or macho, being able to live off the land, or wilderness survival.
Dying. Being manly and macho. Dying in the wilderness.
Survival, the Old West, or cowboy.
Dying by being shot by an outlaw.
And being able to lift heavy things, or
and dying by having something heavy drop on you.
weightlifting. And that's what a differently
No, that's really cool, though. Those are absolutely sick. The designs are really sick. I really like the ideas. There's clearly a lot of thought that's went behind this, especially the Charizard. I think the Charizard might be my favorite one, just because I love the whole aesthetic and I love the idea. And I just want him to talk like this a little bit, you know?
Or cowboys. And
I just think it'll be really cool. But that was really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Pragmatic, for allowing me to react to these videos. I think they're great. If you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see me react to, go ahead and throw it in my Discord server in the suggestions area. If you want to see more of my dumb face, you can always subscribe here as well.